again, this is another reason why this is not a time. I mean, the left does need to unify, and we need a serious left agenda, and that's why I'm talking to Bashkar or Bill Fletcher and people like that over strategic vision. But this is also a time, I told the Stuart Stevens story last week, Republican strategist from Mitt Romney, guy I'm sure I disagree with about pretty much everything, but very committed to opposing racism. So in today's world, I think he's a decent guy with a valuable voice. David Gergen, it looks and sort of has the feel of a guy who was sort of like conceived at like a Rand Corporation retreat and then just sort of spent his whole life growing up in a think tank, and then had a stint at Georgetown and a fellowship at the Kennedy School, and pretty much was just like
he really lets loose at Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I'm sure he lets loose. I'm sure he's like walking around in a toga, like drinking like Jim Beam straight, be like, "Where the fuck is the purifier? Are we gonna sacrifice the virgin or what?" That's when he has some fun. But David Gergen is really interesting because he represents, in many respects, a world that is a lot more noble, a lot more intellectually sophisticated, a lot more global, a lot more anti-prejudice, but also elitist, self-reinforcing, austerity-enabling, incestuous, and has, through its own myopic self-interest and self-focus, created a world of such imbalance, inequality, and crisis that it facilitated the rise of Trumpism and things like that. So here is David Gergen on CNN. He's talking about Trump's sort of disgusting victory tour. He's smashing Trump, but he's also kind of like pleading for a Davos world. Give or, I like some of it, don't like some of it. But it ends with a real kicker. It's almost as if he's in Bohemian Grove while he's on the CNN set. And notice how everybody else reacts at the end of this clip.
Message. I think if there was any doubt that we're putting an end to one chapter in American history, moving on to a new one, he dispelled that doubt tonight. This is goodbye to American leadership in the world. It's goodbye to globalization. He's bringing America home. He is going to lead a nativist, nationalistic, populist movement. And if you want to join up with him, fine. But if you don't, forget it.
But I got to say, a lot of presidents have started out saying, you know what? I'm not talking about nation building. I'm focusing here at home, and world events have led them elsewhere.
I got the very clear impression tonight.
Pause
it's been reinforced.
I'm sorry. I like Anderson Cooper. I actually do. Like, of all of these people, he's sort of the least offensive in some ways. But when he asks, like, dumb questions, the sort of, like, pseudo-academic hipster glasses and his facial expression just make it so much more annoying. That irritated me. All right,
here
go
at
ahead.
home, and world events have led them elsewhere.
I got the very clear impression tonight, and I think it's been reinforced in the last few days. What he is looking for is a national security team to whom he's going to entrust most of the stewardship of American foreign policy abroad, and what he's going to do is focus here at home. He's going to be the most domestic president we've had, I certainly think, in the last 40 or 50 years, and he's going to do it in his pugilistic, narcissistic way. He's not going to change. Here's his agenda. He's not moving away from it, and you can, if you don't like it, that's tough. Because he's in charge. And he has a lot of support in the Congress. And that kind of speech will fire up his base, and it's going to leave a lot of other people. I knew I didn't like the son of a bitch.
Kirsten?
Yeah, I actually think he...
Look at Gergen getting all salty.
I mean, how many guys can say, I never liked the son of a bitch on CNN, and everyone's just like, fine.
Everyone's just like, all right, it's David Gergen. It's okay.
If that was like Bakari Sellers, I'd be like, whoa, let's just calm down a little bit, Bakari.
Calm down, Bakari. That's totally unnecessary.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Over. Subscribe.